This is Panguitch, the destination of the Ito family spring break trip of the year 2023. But before they get there, they stop at Cove Fort, where Jefferson is stuck in a snow berm and completely ignores the sign that says that he cannot walk on the grass. Jefferson is now washing the van with snow. I am not sure why he's doing this or what he thinks he will accomplish. Maybe he thinks he'll get treats, or popcorn, or any type of thing that he can chew on. He loves snacking a lot. The documentary that they are watching about the Ira family settling Cove Fort is quite intriguing. Jefferson is amazed. And after the video, the Ito children are walking on the path towards the fort. And as they approach the fort, they are surprised with how big the building is. And they're greeted by wonderful volunteer docents who live on the site to tell people like themselves about the history of this crossroads of southern Utah. They are amazed by how many rooms there are in this fort, and Grandpa is going to take his time to learn everything he can. Let's move on. Now, as we move on to the ramparts, you can see Jefferson is on the ramparts. You can enjoy the view of Cove Fort and the distant Fillmore City. And the wintry cold winds can be treacherous, so you have to take extra photos to make sure you get the right ones. And there goes Grandpa Carl, continuing on his trek to learn everything he can about Cove Fort. He is gaining so much knowledge. Becca is completely fascinated with this string and wooden toy that she spins and spins and spins and spins and spins and spins and spins again. Spin, spin, spinny, spins.
Cove Fort is a pretty nice place that a lot of people want to go and live in there. Something funny. The trip here was nice. Okay, so the trip here was nice.
Not sure how long Becca expects to be playing with her new string wooden toy, because they're about to reach Panguitch and enter the house. And what shall they be talking about in there?
And now ketchup can be on a sandwich.
Yeah, ketchup can be on a sandwich.
I want.
Do you want ketchup on that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes. I don't want it.
I don't know that ketchup would taste real good on that one.
But
Are you a sandwich builder?
no, I'm not.
I think you are. You're doing great.
Next up are the coral pink sand dunes, which Jefferson and Mom are taking some photos. Jefferson is very eager to get to the sand dunes with his snowboard, leaving everyone in the dust, and Becca is coming along right behind. Jefferson makes it to the sand and starts going up his first sand dune. He is so eager to try this sled out. The wind is pretty fierce, and Becca and Jefferson hold on to their sleds for dear life. And then, there it goes. It just hit Oliver. Okay, that sled is flying south for the winter. Oliver is sad and wants comfort from his dad. Jefferson tries so hard to sled down the sand dunes, but to no avail. The Ito family makes it across the desert wasteland to the largest sand dune in the state park. It's cold, and the wind is very, very strong, but they trek through. They reach some water, and they're surprised that it's a beach. How can there be a beach at the Great Sand Dunes? Well, leftover ice and snow, when it melts and has nowhere to go, it just stays right there. So the family moves on, away from the wind and sand, so that they can get some better views of the beach. Jefferson and Becca, and Grandpa and Mom and Oliver and Isa are talking with each other, while Lucas goes up to the highest sand dune. Becca is trying to make best of what she's got, and Mom points to where the others have gone before. Oliver is still digging the sand for crabs. Will he find crabs? Who knows? Jefferson and Becca approach the mother with sand in their eyes, and then Stephanie, like a mother penguin, cradles her children because she loves them.
I really love this place. I went all the way up there because I wanted to see how it looks from up there. But I couldn't see anything because the sun was getting in my eyes and my mouth. But I love this place.
Becca takes her red sled and pushes it forward on the water. The wind blows it across the water's surface. Everyone is amazed by how fast and well that boat is moving. The wind picks it up, the wind moves it across the water, and look and behold, who is across the body of water is Oliver. He is so excited to get it. Will he get it? What will he do with it? We wait in anticipation of what Oliver will do. Looks like he's going to get it, and the red sled boat is going to get to Oliver's side. Oliver is so excited that he can grab the boat now and take it for himself. Guess not.
Yeah, so here's the thing about family vacations. They are actually misnamed. They should be called something different. A vacation with children is a trip, not a vacation.
Hey guys, it was a great time out here. I bruised my butt, but it was great. Got a lot of speed and super windy up there, but beautiful views, and it's exactly what I imagined it would be, and so I could cross it off my bucket list.
Well, that's it for today with the sand dunes. The family walks back to the van with the sleds and the snowboards, and they're really exhausted. Even Grandpa is exhausted. He has sand everywhere, in his socks, in his shoes, under his hat, in his pants, in his coat, in his beard, in his armpits, in his shirt, in his belt, everywhere. Our next stop are the sand caves just north of Kanab. The temperature has risen 15 degrees, and everybody wants to take off their coats and jackets so that they can hike easier to the caves. It's about a 10-minute hike, so anybody can do it. Jefferson makes it to the top first and basks in the sun while he waits. Isa, Lucas, and Grandpa Carl make their way up the side of the cliff. They have to be extra careful. There is sand everywhere along the cliff and the rocks, and it makes it very slippery. So everyone had to have a buddy to cross the side of this cliff to make it to the sand caves. Because the journey is dangerous, but if they all work together, they can get there safely. It's not much longer now until they reach the entrance. It's quite crowded in the caves, and the sand is everywhere on the floor, but Jefferson leads Oliver to a siding where they can go through an opening and dazzle and be awed by the sight in front of them. Mother Nature is quite beautiful. In the very back of the cave, the three Edo kids are enjoying themselves, pretending that they're cavemen, partying and dancing and writing on the walls. No, you can't do that. That's illegal. But Mom calls them back, and they go back to the light so that they can see what they're doing. They play in the sand, doing whatever kids do in sand.
So we're here at the Sand Caves, a little bit below Moki Cave, above Kanab. We just finished up inside there. There's several entrances out into the outside world. It's not just the one entrance or two entrances that you see behind me. But got some great shots in there. The kids were fun. Steph was having a heart attack because I was letting the kids get a little close to the edge that drops off into the wash below. But that's what this grandpa does.
Now that the caves are explored, the Brown and Ito family make their way back down the side of the cliff where they came. Still, the sand is everywhere on the rocks, and they have to be extra careful so they don't slip off and fall to their deaths. Or even worse, expelled. That's a Harry Potter joke for you. So, Becca and Mom make their way down the side of the cliff. It's a steep slope, but not too steep. Becca is sliding down on her bum and her boots, and Mom is right behind her. Oh, there goes Becca. She is sliding down with no problem at all. She enjoys the view and calls out to Lucas and Isa to follow her. Oh, and she goes down and down. I wonder how her bum feels. Must feel pretty rough. But anyway, Becca walks it off. Nothing can stop her. And then finally, Carl Brown is the last one down from the side of the cliff and walks back to the horizon to see how everyone fared on this day. The next morning, the family got into the van and drove south to Zion National Park. It's a beautiful sight here in southern Utah, where you see these massive waves of rocks forming above our heads, trees growing out of the sides too, and snow on the north side of these massive cliffs. Becca is going to catch up with her family amidst the massive, massive rock formations above. Beautiful orange and white and yellow colors. Very beautiful indeed. Isa and Oliver and Jefferson wave from halfway point up the side of a rock, and Jefferson is dancing like a leprechaun or a cowboy. I can't tell which. And Jefferson continues climbing up the slope to see what adventures lay above the horizon. Maybe he'll go the way of the Navajo or the Paiute, who traveled these canyons many years ago, and Grandpa is getting one last shot of this wonderful, wonderful canyon side before he returns to the van. Becca watches Grandpa from a distance while sucking on her water. You have to bring plenty of it. And Isa tries to balance her life.
Well, these rocks are being really red. They kind of looks like chips and salsa. I'll go lick it.
Now back in the car.
Mountains, mountains, red rocks, red sand, big house.
Bravo, Becca. The drive through Zion Canyon is a wonderful sight to see. Red rocks lining up the horizon with green trees, and driving through this canyon, you would think you're on a different planet. Look how wonderful the background is of all these mountainous scenes of wonder. The cars have stopped for oncoming traffic to come through the tunnel. This tunnel is very narrow, so if any big trucks have to drive through it, we have to wait on the other side. But Grandpa keeps us informed of the history of this wonderful place. Now we just wait. And wait. And wait. And wait some more. Now we are off and into the tunnel. Grandpa tells us that there are about 5 windows in this tunnel that we can see the outside into Zion Canyon. Everyone is pretty excited to be in the dark with the lights on. Jefferson is probably a little bit too excited. And here comes the light. It shines brightest at the end. And then, voila! Zion Canyon. Look how wonderful that looks. People from all over the world come to this spot to see these wonderful visions of scenery. Every shot looks like a painting. A painting that anyone would love to have in their homes. But for now, we eat lunch. Brought to us by Mom. Jefferson and Becca entertain themselves until we move again. And now we're back on the road. And this canyon is something to behold. No one could believe what they were seeing. And now we stop at the gift shop and the visitor center, and looking at a bunch of cactuses, or cacti. Oliver is intrigued with this 3D model map. And then we sleep. And to end the day, we stop in Washington City to eat at the Black Bear Diner, where everyone is either bored or hungry, or both. The kids are coloring, parents and adults are talking, and everyone is just having a grand time filling their bellies with the finest food. And then one last picture of Oliver next to the Black Bear. As we wait on this scene change, let's look at this vulture who has claimed a carcass. That's Penguich for you. On our last trip to a national park, we stop at Red Canyon, which is on the way to Bryce Canyon. And Oliver loves it so much that he had to put on his winter boots because there's going to be snow, ice, dirt, and sand to walk across. On this nature hike, led by Isa and Becca, we go visit these wonderful, wonderful rock formations that are pure orange. I'm not sure why they call it Red Canyon. It should be called Orange Canyon. But everyone is on their way to get a closer look, going through the brush and trees to see what we can find on this rocky path of adventure. But alas, this rocky adventure went the wrong way, so we had to quickly turn around and go back into a crevice, which Jefferson is leading. He trudges mightily to the final frontier, followed by Oliver, who is always wanting to be with his big brother. Becca takes a break from the hike and pats some snow. She loves snow. She stops that and joins the family. This wonderful view from the top of the trail is so beautiful that we all had to take a breather and enjoy the scenery around us with these rocks of orange and green leaves and the blue sky. It's so beautiful that Jefferson ventures on by himself, scaring us half to death, but the view is totally worth it. We continue looking at the scenery, and Grandpa has to take a panoramic photograph with his phone. This is a moment that we will never forget. We ventured down back the trail to get back to our car so that we can get on to our next adventure. Isa helps Oliver, and Mom is careful to make sure that everyone gets back to the van safely. Oliver trails behind. Now we get back in the car and enjoy our view of Red Canyon once more. And then the snow appears, and we know we're getting close to Bryce Canyon. We get out of the van, and the first place we need to stop at is our local bathroom. And Oliver is done. Grandpa shows the kids the map of Sunset Point, where they currently are. They are really eager to see this massive, massive canyon made by thousands, maybe millions years old of erosion. The kids are fascinated by the orange and the white of the snow. Mom, Jefferson, and Oliver look at the information plaque about coyotes and other animals that live around here. Mom and Oliver are having a really nice moment. And Oliver loves his shadows.
I think this is a beautiful place. I haven't been somewhere just like this before, and I think it's great. And a little bit chilly, but great.
No, not like that, honey. Okay, so I always thought that I never been to Bryce Canyon National Park before, but after coming here, I realized I came here once as a child, probably Rebecca's age. And I just didn't, I thought that where I went was Zion, but it turns out I actually went to Bryce.
The family needs to retrace their steps as they make their way back to their car. Before we reach our final destination at Bryce Canyon, we look to this pine tree and see this beautiful feathered creature known as a crow.
Dad, it's actually a raven.
Jefferson, how did you get in here?
You don't have any security.
Okay, well, you know what? This is a crow. I'm calling this a crow in this video, okay?
It's a raven. Don't believe him.
No, it's not. Why are you calling it a raven?
Because Grandpa says it is, and Grandpa's always right with nature.
No, he's not. This is.
Prove it.
I'm calling this a crow.
Prove it.
Yeah, I can't. I don't need to prove it. My opinion.
Prove it's a crow.
My opinion is that it's a crow
prove it's a crow.
It's black. So after that debate, the family makes it to Bryce Point, elevation 8,300 feet. And this view from the south is amazing and spectacular.
here at Bryce Point. What a gorgeous day. What a gorgeous view. Awesome to be here with family and have a great time with everybody, seeing some of the just world famous, outstanding scenery. What a blessing to be here on this day.
After a restful evening, everyone is ready and eager to get going on the road back home. Becca and Oliver and Jefferson are waiting in the van and getting buckled up. Jefferson is thinking about his trip and what he will tell his friends after he gets home. Grandpa gets everything ready. That's not going anywhere. This family has had many adventures in the last 5 days, and as they go home, they will reflect on how much fun they had and how much they learned and enjoyed with one another's company. And the ride home is going to be tiring, and the family will want to unpack once they reach the house. But this trip was worth it.